Welcome to the Savvy Shopkeeper Retail Podcast. I'm your host, Kathy Cruz. I'm a former brick and mortar store owner turned retail expert who is passionate about entrepreneurship and has experienced the highs and lows of running a retail business. Whether you're a seasoned retail veteran or an aspiring store owner, consider me your guide on this store owning journey. If you're looking to run a profitable and growing business that doesn't drain you, follow my 6 stages of shopkeeping and subscribe to this show. Join me for a journey of continuous learning where protecting your mind, maximizing profit, and determining your own schedule are a priority. Get ready to work smarter, profit more, and grow your retail business. Welcome to episode 226 of the Savvy Shopkeeper Retail Podcast. Is the OffPrice show in Vegas a good fit for your buying strategy? I'm your host, Kathy Cruz. As an independent retailer, finding the right trade shows to attend can make a significant difference in your buying strategy and overall business success. The OffPrice show in Las Vegas is a prominent event in the retail industry, but is it the right fit for your store? Well, I'm hoping this podcast episode will help you evaluate whether the OffPrice show aligns with your retail goals and your purchasing plans. In full disclosure, the OffPrice show gave me the opportunity to attend their show last February and learn more about it to see if it's a good fit for all of you, my podcast listeners, email subscribers, my group members, and one-on-one clients. I attended the show with 2 Master Shopkeepers members because it was really important to me to get the perspective of buyers who I thought ideally fit the profile of an OffPrice attendee. Not just my perspective. So the OffPrice show also gave 2 Master Shopkeepers members the opportunity to join me. One flew in from Minnesota and one drove in from California. And I'm so glad I asked them to join me because their feedback and insight was incredibly helpful. So I have to give a shout out to Stacy and Dawn for being my fun companions. We had a great time together. And as a result, I felt like that was a bonus from attending the show. Like other markets, OffPrice show is free to register and for the trade only, so you'll have to be prepared to register as a business owner, not a consumer. Of course, we'll have the OffPrice show website linked in the show notes so you can visit, learn more, and register. The dates for the next OffPrice Las Vegas show will be on August 18th to the 21st, 2024. And right now, it sounds like they're hosting the show every February and August. But I just want you to know what the upcoming dates are because that's important. It's right around the corner. And it's at the Venetian Expo Center in Las Vegas on the Strip. So what is the OffPrice show? The OffPrice show, it's a biannual trade show held in Vegas, known for offering deeply discounted wholesale merchandise. It caters to a wide range of retailers from boutique owners to large chain stores and even gas station stores. It provides access to vendors with excess inventory, closeouts, maybe some overruns on their usual full lines, which might already be budget friendly. The vendors carry products in multiple categories, including apparel, footwear, accessories, and more. I know lots of store owners who don't particularly carry full apparel lines, but they do sell some apparel and some accessories, especially in Q4. So keep this in mind if this is your store strategy. You don't have to be a full apparel store to participate or to get value out of this show. So I'll start off by saying this is more ideal for anyone with a store that does sell apparel and/or accessories, not so much home and gift. Although they have mentioned branching out into the home and gift category, they just aren't there yet. So if your customers prioritize high-end luxury brands or handmade and sustainable, the discounted merchandise might not align with your store and your customers' expectations. However, if they value great deals and variety, the show could be a good match for you. So let's start off by talking about the key benefits of the OffPrice show. The first, I would say, are cost savings, of course. I'm sure you can tell already. Really, the primary allure of the OffPrice show is the potential for significant cost savings. Vendors offer products at prices below the regular wholesale rates, and this allows retailers to increase their profit margins or pass on savings to customers. If you're looking for margin builders, the off-price show is worth considering. So when I say margin builders, think impulse buys maybe that you have at your cash wrap, stocking stuffer bars during the holiday season, loyalty program rewards, or if you love to do like accessories or gift with purchase. And I'm talking about sunglasses, readers, jewelry, hats, scarves, purses, bags, totes, things like that. Number 2 is networking opportunities. Like most markets, attending the off-price show, it does provide valuable networking time. So you can build relationships with suppliers, discover new vendors, gain insights into industry trends, and then, of course, networking with other retailers can also offer fresh perspectives and ideas for your business. You never know what other store owners you're going to meet at a market. You never know what you're going to learn from them. And then the third one is immediate availability. Many products at the off-price show are available for immediate purchase and shipment. So this can be beneficial if you need to quickly replenish stock, especially after the holiday season. So like the February show was great for that because the holiday season passed, stores tend to be lighter in merchandise, and if you're looking for some quick turnaround time, it could be ideal. And then I also have a long list of considerations for you and your store. So let me start by saying that while the off-price show has numerous advantages, it's really essential to determine if it aligns with your store's specific needs and buying strategy. And this is where my episode on the off-price show gets unique because this is where I want to share my personal opinions and insight from attending the show so you can determine if the show is the right fit for you. Number 1, if you love the hunt or if you're a savvy buyer, this show could be great for you. So that's exactly why I invited the 2 Master Shopkeepers members who I did invite to attend with me. I knew they both sold some apparel and accessories in their stores. They aren't full apparel stores, but what I know about them is that they love the hunt and they love to find good margin products. Number 2, if you own one of these store types, this show could also be for you. So outdoor gear shops. Now, this was something I didn't expect, and it didn't dominate the show, but there were more vendors than I expected for this type of store. They had a pretty strong presence at Off-Price. This could be good for the shops that serve like the hiking industry and outdoor enthusiasts. Another store type, or another thing that I noticed, was a bohemian vibe. If you have a store that caters to the woman with a bohemian style, this is probably a good show for you too. So I would say if you're wondering like, well, what does bohemian vibe mean? That's normally characterized by a particular style, like relaxed fits, loose silhouettes, natural fabrics, like you're thinking maxi dresses, kimonos, long beaded necklaces, layered bracelets, oversized rings, floppy hats, embroidery, fringe, and lace too. I did notice a lot of this. This episode is brought to you by Master Shopkeepers, my mastermind group for brick and mortar retail store owners. If you're craving support, connection, inspiration, and motivation for your retail business, apply to join us. It doesn't matter what stage of shopkeeping you're in, what matters is your drive to work less, profit more, and grow, both personally and professionally. Learn more at savvyshopkeeper.com/group membership. That's savvyshopkeeper.com/group membership, all one word. And then the third would be beach shops, I guess is how I would call them. If you're in a coastal or beachy tourist area, this could also be a good fit for you. Think resort wear, flip-flops, beach hats, cover-ups, sundresses, and bathing suits. Now, not to say that only these 3 store types the off-price show is ideal for. It's pretty much ideal for anyone in the apparel arena, but I wanted to make sure I mentioned those 3 because you could immediately think it's just for boutique apparel stores, and that wasn't the case. Number 3, if you sell jewelry, like some other markets with big cash and carry areas, Off-Price show has this too, and it was a really strong selection of jewelry. It was overwhelming for me, but let me add that I've never sold jewelry before, so I wouldn't even know where to begin. But the seasoned jewelry buyer would immediately know what they're looking for, and they would be able to spot in this really big cash and carry area what their customers love. Number four, it's good for buyers with these particular traits, and this is going to be an important one. So, number one is if you're an experienced buyer, you know your market, you know your customer, you know what sells, you know the quality they're looking for. And I will say the two Master Shopkeepers members that were with me, they were experienced in this way. They really understood their ideal customer. The second one is if you're a confident buyer. Now, if you're new to buying or if you don't have that muscle to kind of speak up and ask for what you're looking for, or just to be able to say no, if you have a hard time saying no to sales reps, this show may not be for you. Unlike many showrooms I've visited at other markets where you're working with sales reps and oftentimes women, many of the vendors at this show are men who have been in the manufacturing industry for a long time. In some instances, vendors exhibited what I would describe as an assertive approach. Now, was it an approach where I would be like, okay, I'm out of here, I'm not doing this anymore? No, but it's definitely better. This show is definitely better for a more confident buyer, because some people might perceive that as overly aggressive. It is a different vibe, and I want you to be prepared. With that, the benefit of this is the ability to negotiate or break MOQ. And when I say MOQ, it's minimum order quantity. It gives you the ability to break those rules. So some of the vendors are actually willing to negotiate on pricing or minimum quantities. And I don't really see that in the showrooms in the more traditional and popular markets. And the last one is curious buyers, at least in the category of traits in a buyer that would be ideal for this market. The third one is curious buyers who want to test and have a low risk aversion. I guess that's two traits. If you aren't experienced, that's okay, because if you're prepared and willing to explore and test, maybe you want to try some new categories, new lines, new products. This could be a really fun show to explore. But if you're afraid to spend and test, it would be challenging. And then number 5 in my list of store considerations is if you're attending other apparel markets in Vegas at the same time, this could be a good fit for you too. So if you're already in Vegas for other shows at the same time, the OffPrice show is easy and should be considered. And this is usually the case. So the OffPrice show, it either runs concurrently or consecutively with multiple shows at the same time in Vegas. For instance, the apparel show at Las Vegas Market will be August 18th to 21st. When another apparel show, I think it's on the same dates this year. And Magic, a really popular apparel show in Vegas, is scheduled for August 19th to 21st. And then, of course, OffPrice show is also August 18th to 21st. So you kind of see that they're all grouped together at the same time. So if you're traveling to Vegas already, I think it's worth considering popping in to the OffPrice show for a day. This episode is brought to you by the Savvy Shopkeeper Quiz. After years of research and learning from thousands of retailers, I determined there are 6 stages of shopkeeping. But what's more important is knowing the action steps store owners can take during each stage. These steps can help you focus, create efficiency, and improve profitability so you can grow. Take the quiz to find out which shopkeeper stage you're in. Plus, you'll get a helpful and customized list of podcast episodes and 2 free resources specifically for the stage you're in now. I reference the stages often in podcast episodes and when I teach online, so it's helpful to know which stage you're in. Visit savvyshopkeeper.com/quiz to take the quiz. And this is the last consideration, is if you'd like to explore private labeling and/or customization opportunities. I think this is one area of buying that most retailers don't utilize often enough. I want to add, the market isn't filled with vendors who offer this. It isn't like every vendor there offers this, but there was a reasonable amount of vendors who do. So you think blanks for customization. So if you do any kind of screen printing, this could be good for you. If you've been wanting to carry a selection of like local themed apparel with your city or town name printed on the clothing, this could also be good for you. There's one vendor in particular who did this. They had a whole selection up on a wall. It gave you like multiple options of sweatshirts, long sleeve t-shirts, I think short t-shirts. But the cool thing is that you could change the town name on all of the apparel. And now I have tips for making the most of the off-price show. So now if you've listened and you're thinking, okay, Kathy, I think this may be a good fit for my store, here are some tips and things to consider before you head to off-price. Number one, quality control. Discounted merchandise may include overstock, and it's really important for you to assess the quality of the products to ensure that they meet your store standards. So, like we all know, when you go to a show, it's much different than buying from a catalog or a website. You actually get to see the product, feel the product. And building a good relationship with reliable vendors, it can help mitigate quality concerns. And then definitely being in front of the products can help mitigate that. Number two is to set clear goals. Define what you want to achieve at the show. This came up in conversations with the two Master Shopkeepers members. They showed up with a plan. They were like, okay, this is what I kind of feel as a gap in my store and what I'm looking for. This is something that I think I might find here. And then, of course, you want to be open to other things, but set those goals before you go. Whether it's finding new suppliers, expanding your product range, or exploring new trends, I think having clear goals will help you stay focused and make the most of your time there. Number three, budget and financial planning. Of course, I'm going to say this one. You want to plan your budget carefully before attending the show, because if you're the buyer that loves to be out on the hunt and you love really great deals on products, like the allure of discounts can lead to overspending. So set some clear financial limits and then prioritize purchases that align with your store strategy. Having a clear plan can prevent impulse buying, and I want you to ensure that you have a more strategic approach when you go. And then number four is do your research, of course, before attending. Research the vendors and product categories that will be there. You can do this on the OffPrice website. They do a really nice job of showing you all of the vendors and linking to their websites. Or you can do it on their app. Identify the ones that best align with your store needs or pique your interest, because it is a pretty big open space with lots of vendors, and it can be overwhelming, especially if you only plan on spending a day there. So do a little bit of research before you go. Okay, so it's time to wrap this episode up. The off-price show, in my opinion, was really well organized. It was easy to navigate. It's all in one big showroom area, all on one floor. So it's not like you're navigating multiple floors or a massive building. And it also had lots of helpful signage. Like I was never really wondering, where do I go? It has a large food and dining area, so you can actually just grab lunch right there, eat there, and go back into the vendor area. It made it easy because I know sometimes when you go to the really big markets, you're trying to figure out, well, what floor do I go on? Do I need to leave the building to grab lunch? Are there going to be long lines? And I didn't come across any of that here. It was pretty simple to navigate. And the app is, I mentioned the app is very user-friendly. And then at the show, at the event, there were some fun bonus times. Like they gave away free popcorn in the afternoon and gelato. So that was kind of cool. It kind of gave you a break. You could pause, maybe review your notes as you enjoyed a snack. And if you've heard me talking before, you all know I love to snack, especially at markets. So one area I wish I would have visited at the beginning of my 2 days there was this area that they called the district. And it was a loungy type area. It had sofas and seating. And of course, you could go there to take a break and review notes and track your budget and do all of that. But what was great about this area was that it had a couple TV screens, couple monitors, where you could watch a series of helpful and educational videos. Well, not only were the videos helpful in terms of attending the market, but it also provided some helpful tips on buying. So, for example, like how to pair items together for your customers. It was informative, and I underestimated how helpful it would be. And I have to say that Dawn and I sat on the couch eating our popcorn like it was movie time while Stacy was still browsing some vendors and placing orders. And it was funny because I realized I wish I would have sat here at the beginning of the 2 days there instead of at the end. And I will link one of the educational videos in the show notes. It's a YouTube video, and it was one of the videos that we watched during the event in February. So I think it'll give you some idea of the content that they're putting into this district area. So if you do decide to go to the Off-Price show, I know how exciting it can be to get going on your buying. Like you walk in, you see all the vendors, and you're like, okay, I want to see everything they have. I want to find the deals. I want to meet new suppliers. But I will encourage you to stop by this area and watch the videos first. If you stay at the Venetian while you're attending Off-Price, it really is convenient. It's one short walk. You kind of cut through the casino floor, head to the Venetian Conference Center. And I have to say, too, that the rooms at the Venetian were really impressive. And rooms at the Venetian are available at a discount through the Off-Price website. So when I say the Venetian, I'm actually referring to the hotel and the casino on the Strip. You would stay there, and then you would just walk over to the conference center. So in that sense, it was very convenient. The discount was nice on the hotel room. And then, of course, if you want to go to the casino after or enjoy one of the probably dozens of restaurants they have there, it did make it easy. It's not as if you had to like take an Uber to get there. You didn't have to go walk the Strip and get from one hotel to another. And I know not everyone would stay at the Venetian, but it was a really nice option. All this to say, the Off-Price show in Las Vegas, it does offer opportunities for independent retailers to enhance their product offerings and improve profit margins. And you all know how much I focus on numbers and want you to increase profitability. However, like I mentioned earlier, it is important to determine whether the show's offerings align with your store's target market and your overall buying strategy. And that's really why I wanted to record this, because I was finding that not everyone in this retail world of mine, the people I talk to, my one-on-one clients, members and master shopkeepers, a lot of them weren't aware of the Off-Price show, or they questioned whether it was a good fit for them. So this episode was important to me because I want to be able to communicate with you so that you can decide if it's a good fit for you. I genuinely hope this episode helps you to decide, helps you to make an informed decision. Now, if you have like maybe your business isn't in the apparel industry at all. Maybe you don't have a section of apparel, maybe you don't sell accessories, or maybe you don't sell apparel at all. But if you have a retail business friend who would appreciate what the Off-Price show has to offer, please share this episode with that friend, because again, I think it's worth considering. And if you're wondering what the website link is, of course, we'll have it in the show notes, but their website is pretty simple. It's offpriceshow.com. And when you go to offpriceshow.com, it actually gives you a list of the upcoming dates for shows. So you can click on that particular date and then get all the information you need. You can register there. You can take a look at additional information. You can learn more. I'm guessing at this point, they probably have a list of their vendors on there for the August show. And if you have any experience with the Off-Price show, if you have anything that you want to share with me, you can always DM me on Instagram. @Savvy Shopkeeper is my username on Instagram. I would love to know if you've attended the show, if you have any feedback, if you have any tips on navigating the show. And if you want to see the show notes to this episode or find links to anything I mentioned, you can visit my blog at savvyshopkeeper.com/episode 226. Again, special thank you to Dawn and Stacy. I really enjoyed my time there with you. And I know you both placed orders there at the show. So I appreciate your time and effort and feedback and all of that stuff. So until the next episode, be savvy and boss up.